Hey guys, it's the Grenadier Gamer, and we're back in Enlisted taking a look at the new December update. We have the new update, but we do not have the Christmas event yet. But let's go ahead and see what is in store for us in the Far Eastern Front update. Lots of exciting things to take a look at. So, the first thing we can take a look at is loot boxes are back. Yes, the silver chests are back. Pretty exciting. Last time these were available for purchase, I got the Carlton Automatic Rifle Squad for New Zealand, so that was pretty cool. Hopefully we can get some more goodies out of this. Spend your silver wisely, boys and girls. And then to lift the festive mood, we have temporarily added thematic decorations to the hangar for Christmas time. Hopefully they get that Christmas event up and running either later this week or, I would hope, by next week. That's not all. You can read about the main changes below as well. So let's see. They added several new weapons. The Type 88 rifle at BR1 for the Soviet research tree. The silenced Papashaw 41 as a premium Chinese volunteer squad for the Soviets at BR5. The Key 7 LMG to Germany for research BR3. The Browning M1919A4 without the stock to USA's research tree at BR4. So this one will be less maneuverable. You won't be able to fire it while standing. You'll either have to use the bipod or you'll have to fire it from a prone stance. And then the Type 2A 6.5mm Japanese alleged assault rifle for BR5 tech tree. And then the Japanese also get their own premium squad at BR3 with captured M1918A2 Browning machine guns. So then we're going to quickly open up this Excel spreadsheet because there is a lot of weapon changes this update. So for all nations, like we've already discussed, most semi-auto rifles are going to have faster spread reduction after moving, making them feel more accurate. And then all machine guns are going to get a recoil buff when prone as well as when using the bipod. So it looks like it's going from 30% to 75%, which is pretty insane. That should be pretty cool. Specifically for the nations themselves, starting with the Soviets, we have the PPSH-41 is getting a buff to its reload time from 3.8 to 2.7 seconds. PPD-40 is also getting a reload buff from 3.8 to 3.2. The PPD-34-38 is getting a damage buff from 5.3 to 5.5 and a base reload time of 4 down to 3.6 seconds. The Aragon SMG is getting a damage buff from 5.6 to 5.75 and shot deviation is being reduced by 21%. The Fedorov rifle for the event is getting recoil control buffed by 5% and reduced visual recoil, whatever that means. The premium, actually, this is not premium. I think that's an error because the premium ones should be in purple and the blue ones are events. This is the Halloween event skin for the PPSH. Is also getting a reload time buff from 3.4 to 2.4, which is kind of weird because it's the same gun as the Tech Tree PPSH, so why wouldn't it have the same reload rate? But I'm asking too many questions. The Gorov LMG Gold Battle Pass weapon, or not Battle Pass, but Gold Order weapon, has a removed spread penalty when aiming and shooting, so you'll be able to shoot while moving, and that should, or it's aiming and shooting. So I guess they're just reducing the spread in general. The PPSH-45 is getting its reload time buffed from 3.1 seconds to 2.7. The RPK 1943, that's the gold weapon order LMG for BR2 Russia, is getting fixed incorrect recoil calculations. So recoil is going to be slightly better. They don't say how better, how much slightly, but it will be. Trust them. The SU-100 is getting down tiered to BR4 from BR5. That's good. No one's going to take an SU-100 over the IS or IS-2. The IS-2s are definitely going to outplay this. If you have this premium squad, it might become viable at BR4. The parkerized PPSH-41 is also getting a reload buff. Apparently this is getting the same reload buff as the skinned Halloween PPSH, but not the normal PPSH. And then the suppressed PPD-40 is also getting a reload buff from 3.4 to 2.9 seconds. Moving to Germany, the Panzer IV-70V tank destroyer is being moved down to BR4, where it can become somewhat viable. I don't know how viable it's going to be, because it's now in competition with my beloved Ferdinand, but we shall see. The Sniper FG42 Variant 2 has reduced spread penalty when hip firing and moving, same as other automatic rifles. Same for the FG42-2 normal variant, the FG42 first variant as well. The MP35-1 is getting a nerf to its damage, so it's going from 6 to 5.7. It's also getting a nerf to its velocity, 440 down to 400, but it is getting a buff to its rate of fire, 540 to 650 rounds per minute. And then it is also getting a buff to its reload time from 3.2 seconds to 2.7 seconds with additional reduced recoil. The Martyr 3H is getting down tiered to BR2 from BR3. The Legacy German captured PPSH-41, the MP7-17, is also getting a reload buff. It's nice that Germany is also getting that, not just Soviet bias. The Halloween skin for the FG42, same as the other automatic rifle buff. Same thing for the FG42 with the grenade launcher. The event MKB42 that we got from Operation Market Garden is getting its reserve ammo buffed from 60 rounds to 105 rounds. The MP35 event, it has a shorter barrel and then a couple other different features from the MP35-1. So it's at BR2, whereas the Tech Tree one is BR3. It's getting a rate of fire buff from 620 to 750, and its reload time is going from 2.7 to 2.4 seconds. The Gold Order MKB42 Walther variant is getting its rate of fire buffed by 100. The Pavesi SVT is getting its reload time buffed from 5.4 seconds to 4 seconds. The premium skin for the Panzer IV-70V is also getting down tiered to BR4. Once again, I think the Ferdinand will have it beat, but we'll see. The Suomi KP31 Premium Squad is getting its damage buffed by 0.2. Its reload is also getting buffed by 0.3. And then the Romanian SMG Squad, I think they're medics. The Arita M1941 is getting its rate of fire increased from 520 to 630, and then its shot deviation is being reduced by 14%. For the good old US of A, the 50-round M1928A1 Thompson is getting down tiered to BR4 from BR5, and its shot deviation is getting decreased by 15%. Big controversy. The Meteor F Mark III is getting its two 1,000-pound HE bombs replaced with two 500-pound HE bombs. Now this is interesting because I've heard some people talking about how this is historically inaccurate and that the Meteor only had wing pylons that were able to fit 1,000-pound bombs, and the 500-pound bombs wouldn't have fit on the the attachment points on the Meteor. That's historically inaccurate. But I did a little more digging and some research, and apparently the F Mark III variant of the Meteor never had any wing support for weapons framing, and it was strictly a gunfighter. It never used bombs. I think it said it had some rockets only for research testing purposes, but whenever it was being fielded, it was just using its cannons. So, really, neither one of these is historically accurate. Then we have the Johnson LMG is getting its sprint factor increased by 10% and recoil reduced by 17%. The M1928A1 Thompson, so the research... no, these are both research. Okay, so I'm assuming this is the 30 round one. Is getting its shot deviation also decreased by 15%. The M1 carbine with a grenade thrower is getting its rate of fire buffed by 100. The Owen Mark I is getting its base ammo reserve from 99 to 132 rounds. The M1 carbine standard is also getting its rate of fire buffed by 100. The Enfield P14 is getting a faster spread reduction after moving. Here's the event Thompson with 50 rounds for the Halloween skin. So the Halloween skin is also getting its shot deviation decreased by 15%, and it's getting that same down tier to BR4. The Carlton automatic rifle, oh my god. The Carlton is getting a buff to rate of fire from 430 up to 770, and a reload time from 4.7 seconds to 3.6, reduced recoil, and increased base ammo count with one extra mag from 60 up to 90. I think this squad is going to slap hard. I'm going to have to take this out in the new update and see how they do. Jesus. The Paratrooper M1A1 carbine is also getting its rate of fire increased by 100%. Or sorry, not 100%, 100 flat rounds per minute. The Patchet Mark I, that cancerous Halloween event SMG, is going up from BR1 to BR2. It's literally just, it just feels like when you play the Patchet, it's just a reskinned Sten. So, like, it's not really even, like, special. But whatever. The Austin Mark I is getting recoil control going up 10%. The War Gold Order LMG is getting its rate of fire increased by 50. The Delisle Commando Carbine, that's that silenced, like cut down version of the Lee Enfield with the suppressor. Its damage is going from 9.4 to 12.1, and its rate of fire is decreasing from 110 to 90, and it's being moved from BR1 to BR2. So I'm not really sure this is going to do much. Like, I haven't wasted any orders, and I don't even know if it would be a waste, but I haven't used any orders on that weapon, so I don't have any, so I don't know if it's any good or not. But I feel like increasing its BR and then reducing its rate of fire, but then upping its damage doesn't really do much for it. I think it fires too slow to be competitive at all. But I'm not sure. Let me know if you guys have these in the comments, if they're decent or what. Then we got the Owen 45 ACP. Its base ammo reserve is going up from 135 to 150. The T-24, the American Premium MG42 squad, is getting its reduced visual recoil. And then the sniper variant of the Enfield P14 is getting faster spread reduction after moving. Then last but not least, the Tokyo Arsenal SMG is being up-tiered from BR4 to BR5. I feel like it's not... I don't know. This could go either way. The Type 2 SMG is getting its base damage buffed from 5.6 to 5.7. I'm not sure what that's going to do, but alright. Chinu 2 is getting down-tiered from BR4 to BR3. The Type 2A SMG is also getting its base damage buffed by 0.1. The Honi 3 is getting its BR down-tiered to BR2 from BR3, so we can use our new Honi skin from the past Battle Pass. And then the Battle Pass and research variants of the Zero are getting their carrier spawns removed, so they'll be air spawning now, which is good. And then the Type High LMG, that's the one with the shields, I think, is getting faster spread reduction after moving. Okay, so lots of weapon changes. Some interesting ones, some questionable ones. Really excited for the Carlton automatic rifle one. Also, a lot of nice down tiers for specifically tank destroyers that are exposed. Going back to the rest of the update. So, unfortunately, the changed perk point modifiers of premium squads and the free resets will not be coming out with this update. They will be released later, apparently. Other cool things, we're getting more winter uniform options for Italian and British infantry squads. That's good. I'm tired of seeing Italians go in with Mediterranean gear in Stalingrad and Moscow, or the Ardennes, so the winter gear is going to be pretty cool. Additional customization options for several premium squads. What else? Very interesting here. So they are permanently returning the Japanese shielded machine gun squad and the Ho-Ri prototype tank squad to the shop for gold, which is kind of interesting because originally these were in the store, and then they said they were taking them away for good, so get them while you can. And then for the anniversary sale events, they've come back, typically, where you can buy them. And now, for this update, apparently they are being permanently returned. So you can buy them for gold instead of, I think they were for sale for actual money instead of the in-game currency. I'd have to double check, but I'm pretty sure that's how that is. Fixed incorrect armor penetration value of the M1 bazooka on its stat card. Fixed a visual bug where the SKS-30 was reloaded from an empty clip. Interesting. Updated the Luger's animations, and then temporarily added a buildable structure for engineers, the Christmas tree. Excellent. New vehicles that were added. So my beloved Ferdinand is being, this is incorrect, it is being added at BR4 to the research tree. The B-25J-30 Mitchell bomber is being added to BR5 for the US, along with the Attacker Class 3 pilots for the United States. They're also getting a premium version of the B-25 called the PBJ-1H, which will have a 75mm AT gun on it. And Japan is getting the Cheeto late at BR4 in the tech tree. We already looked at these tank tech tree changes. This is going to be really cool. So they've added more working whole machine guns to several Tier 2 and Tier 3 vehicles. Specifically, the ones that I think are going to slap are the T-28s. If these work how I think they're going to work, the T-28 turreted MGs are going to shred. And then I think the Lee, the M3 Lee and Grant, well, it doesn't. No, yeah, it does say the Grant. So the Grant and the Lee might also be pretty good if the AI can use the MG while you're focusing on the cannon. That'll be pretty cool. Super awesome that they're allowing us to assign different camouflages based on the campaigns. So if I want to take my Panzer IV into Moscow, I can use my winter camouflage. Whereas if I'm in Tunisia, I can have that tropical/desert camo. Really love that change. Additional camouflage options to vehicles of Germany, USA, and the USSR. That's pretty cool. I'll have to check that out if they added some new historical camouflage options. Not that I've bought any, but they're interesting to look at. I don't know. I just feel like camouflages should probably be either added to the game through achievements like War Thunder, like destroy 500 enemy tanks, and then you unlock desert camo or whatever, like ambush camo or whatever. Just like stuff like that, instead of making us pay gold for camouflage, just doesn't seem very, it's not very cash money. That, or they should start adding way more camouflages for battle passes and events. I don't know about you guys. I know a lot of people don't really like the camouflages in the battle passes. Dude, I love historical camouflage variants. I would love to be able to get more of those in battle pass seasons. Let me know what you guys think. They're increasing the engine power of the German half-track APCs by 50 horsepower and improving their off-road capabilities. I don't know about these, but for some reason, whenever I'm on the Normandy airfield map, I always get stuck on the railroad tracks. So, like, obviously, this is not the SDKFC7, but I don't see how this can be a bad thing. The decorators on armored summer camouflage of the M1441, so that Italian skin, I think we got that for the British versus Italians even fight event, and the M4A176W now provide additional armor. So this is pretty cool. So the tracks attached to these skins are actually going to provide us with additional armor until they get knocked off. It's not going to be like a crazy amount, but it will act like spaced armor, so I think if you're using heat, you might have to watch out for that. Updated the cockpit of the Ju-188A2, okay. We already talked about the controversial replacement of the Meteor's bomb size. The Zeros are getting their air carrier spawns removed. They're getting air spawns now, so that's fine. Adding the Churchill 7 and the Chinu to practice mode. Fixed the incorrect armor value on the T-34 stat card. Added missing tank descriptions to what? I would love for them to actually include some important information here. And then fix several tank-related bugs based on player reports. Okay, shouldn't that be in the Improving Enlisted number whatever blog? I don't know, but okay. They got rid of the limitation on the number of manually activated boosters, so you can go all the way up to 500 using 50 boosters if they don't go up to 500. Which, I mean, that doesn't make any sense, but you know what I mean. Interesting new statistics added to the player profile. So kills, assists, zone captures, semi-auto kills, shotgun kills, vehicles destroyed with mines, kills with AP mines, kills with AT mines, TNT charge kills, lunge mine kills. I don't think I've ever actually used a lunge mine. I'll have to check. I need to use them more often for the memes. Headshots, long range kills, Ampulomet kills, uses of ammo boxes, that's interesting. Infantry bomb kills, rocket weapons kills, respawns at your rally points as well as spawns on your APC. Those will be interesting. Kills of tankers leaning out of the hatch. That's going to be hilarious. I have a feeling I have a lot of those. Vehicles with your marks, so vehicle spotting assists, destroyeds. Okay. We talked about the graphic improvement. The explosions from grenades, mortars, and AT guns now leave craters. Added destruction effects to electrical devices and paper objects. Added better effects to various destructible objects. Wow. Be a little more vague, please. Added destruction effects to new trees and bushes. That could be really sick, especially if you're in a tank and you hit a tree with your shell and it just splinters and shrapnel's all over the place. That'd be pretty cool. You can knock over the tree and then leave the splintered stumps behind. That has the potential to be pretty sick. Added different craters for 50 and 100 kilogram bombs. Okay. Added a new heated metal visual effect for hit marks on vehicles. Yep, we talked about that. And then locations and missions. It looks like for the Far East, for now, we're getting 2 new maps, if I'm reading this correctly. So we're getting Heilongjiang and Heilongjiang Airport. And then obviously you're going to have Invasion, Conquest, and Confrontation game modes. Although it looks like Confrontation is only going to be on the airport map. We talked about the improvement to the spawn points from the objectives already. Fixed a bug that caused floors to be covered in ground textures in certain houses in Tunisia. Fixed a bug that caused certain rocks to float in the air in Tunisia, Guadalcanal, and New Georgia. Corrected the water model in the caves in New Georgia. Okay. Corrected the navigation of AI soldiers in certain houses in Tunisia. AI soldiers now shoot through bushes less frequently in Tunisia, Burma, and New Georgia. That's good. I've been playing a lot of Japan lately, and I'm just getting sniped through bushes. And I don't think it's players. So that's nice. Adjusted the tunnels inside the cave village in Tunisia. I'll have to see what that's about. Corrected the physical materials in the opera in Berlin. Not sure what that means. Fixed the physical model of carpets in Tunisia. Fixed texture gaps on the slopes in the Ardennes. Made certain wooden structures destructible. Fixed the model of the destroyed 120 mil gun in Berlin so vehicles will no longer get stuck in it. I actually don't play a lot of Berlin, so I actually have no idea what this is or where it is. I mean, obviously it's a 120 mil gun, but I don't think I've ever seen it. Adjusted the placement of spawn points and battle areas in the River Crossing Conquest Large and Fortified District Conquest missions. Added additional spawn points for tanks and APCs in the variant of Verberg Station mission. Added additional spawn points in the Gavudu North Destruction and Gavudu South Destruction missions. Adjusted the placement of spawn points and battle areas in the variants of the Gavudu mission. And adjusted the placement of spawn points and battle areas in the variants of the New Georgia mission. Sounds. Fixed multiple errors related to the reload sounds of the Kawaguchia shotgun, Aragon SMG, Owen 45 ACP, and the Kretz P14. Added new firing sound for the Type 4 rifle. Interesting. Ooh, added new sound effects for mortars. I'll have to see what that's about. Added a new sound effect when a smoke shell bursts. And finally, added Christmas tree from the Far East that was delivered to the player's hangar. Alright guys, so that's what this update entails. Let me know what you think, what you're excited for, how you think it's going to go. I'm really eager to see how the Soviets and the Japanese are going to stack up to each other. And most of all, I'm really excited for my beloved Ferdinand. But let me know, guys. That's it for today. If you liked, give it a like and subscribe for more Enlisted content. But until next time, stay sharp out there, and I'll see you on the battlefield.